Guys, seriously, is it just me? Instagram stories is not reaching the same amount of people as it used to before. Maybe it's not the algorithm. Maybe it's our content. Could when and how we post IG stories be affecting our reach? We're going to be discussing 8 IG story mistakes that you could be making right now. Stay tuned for myself and my special guests as we discuss all of these mistakes that we could easily avoid on IG stories. So please don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and don't forget to hit that like if you get any value from this content. If you guys are just not joining us, welcome. I am Heston of Social Varsity, your favorite Instagrammer's favorite Instagrammer, and today we are discussing Instagram stories. And I am so lucky to be joined today by one of my favorite Instagrammers, who you see on the screen, Social by Pragati. Okay? And for those that are watching that don't know who you are, if you could please take a moment to introduce yourself.
Right. So I'm Pragati, as Heston said, and I have been doing social media for a very long time, for about 12 years, and I help female entrepreneurs particularly grow their businesses on Instagram. That's about me.
Awesome, awesome. And you have, as you stated, you have great experience. You practice what this topic that we're going to be discussing on IG stories. I wanted to talk about it with you because I've noticed you do it so well. Your stories are great. I think they're a great balance of your personal as well as your business. And I think that's something that a lot of people, they have problems with trying to figure it out. And hopefully today we can help share or give a little bit of insight and enlightenment in regards to that. So I'm very thankful to have you here with us today. And for everybody watching, I hope you guys have your pens and papers and pens ready, because we'll be giving you guys a lot of information in regards to this topic. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I want to make sure that we get to the main topic of our IG story discussion, and that is pretty much there are 8 mistakes that, 4 that you have listed, 4 that I have listed, I think that we could possibly pay attention to and try to avoid to help improve our IG story content strategy to reach those individuals, the larger of our audience. Because there are times where I have a little over 5,000 followers, and there are times if I post IG stories, full transparency, I get like maybe 1% seeing my IG story. And exactly, it happens, but there are things that we could do to avoid that. You want to have an idea of how many people you should be able to reach and continue practicing certain methods that would actually put us in that position. So we have each 4 tips to kind of give, and I would love to let you lead off and give your first tip in regards to a mistake we are making on IG stories. What did you have listed first?
Well, to be honest, the first one is people who are not posting stories. Okay, now I think that one is like the biggest mistake ever. I mean, forget about what are you posting. Let's talk about why are you not posting. So there could be multiple reasons why you're not posting. And one of them is people are camera shy, and I completely get it. I was camera shy. I was not camera shy. It was like a genuine phobia. I'm not even kidding. And I had to really work on this, but so that could be one of the reasons. So for those people who are not posting stories because they are afraid to show their face, maybe they could start posting stories of other things around them. What are they eating? What are they doing? Just look around you. What are you doing? And post that. Literally, that's what I do. Look around you. What's happening? Find something interesting, or make that in whatever it is interesting. And it really doesn't take a long time to make it interesting. Like right now, I have like an omega-3 medicine lying right next to me. Okay, so I would just take a picture of this. Okay, I'm just giving a random example. I would just take a picture of this. Sorry, the power just came back. I would just take a picture of this, and I would just post, okay, I take omega-3, whatever. Do you guys do it too? This would be like a personal story, right? So I would just, so you don't have to put your face out there. So I think that is number 1 on my list. Start posting stories. Start with whatever you feel comfortable. If you're not comfortable on putting your face out there, whatever else. I think second top mistake I see people doing is they're not using stickers. So they're posting stickers. I mean, sorry, they're talking about it. Okay, they're like, what do you guys think? Should I do A? Should I do B? Okay, whatever it is. but there's nothing to choose from. So every time, and a lot of people are doing very well on stories. Like they'll post highly engaging stories, and I'm watching it, and I'm actually listening to their 15-second stories.
Yeah.
And on the first one, they're asking, okay, so what would you do if you would be in a situation like this? Would you do A or would you do B? And then there's no poll. And I'm just like, what the hell? You know, so
Missed
I think that
opportunity.
was like, sorry?
Very missed opportunity.
Exactly, that is missed opportunity because how Instagram works, any platform you choose, right? Any media type you choose, whether it's a reel or a post or a carousel or even stories. If somebody is engaging on one thing, Instagram will boost the next and the next and the next, right? So you, like you said, it's a missed opportunity of that engagement. So I see people are not using stickers, or people are not using enough stickers. They would just place one sticker in the morning and that's it. I
Yeah.
would actually use multiple stickers throughout the day. You know, poll. According to me, poll and quizzes do the best. So use them.
Yeah. I
So
I
that
100% agree with that one. And before we continue, I'm gonna give my first two, but
yes, please.
I want to ask the viewing audience something because you just talked about stickers. I want to know, everybody watching, comment, put in the comments your favorite sticker to use. I think you said your favorite is polls, and I have to agree. My favorite is polls as well. But I want to know from the audience, what is your favorite sticker to use? Is it polls? Is it question? Is it the new one? Add yours. There's so many stickers to choose from. I want to see what everybody says about what their favorite sticker is. And I'm going to jump in and start with my own list. I have two that I'm going to jump in. You'll jump in with your next two, and I'll finish off as well. Now, I have a couple on my list people might be a little bit upset about because I'm, no offense to anybody if you guys are doing it, but I am going to call it out. Using hashtags. I think using hashtags is no longer vital because if you asked me 2-3 years ago, I would agree. Yes, hashtags did work on IG stories when they had the if you clicked on a hashtag from IG stories, it would take you to that hashtag page, as well as on that hashtag page. If you had a IG story with a hashtag in it, you were actually able to show up on that page, at least in the IG story section. They no longer do that. Instagram has took away that feature. So now on the hashtag Explorer page, you can't click the little round profile image and go into stories. So hashtags no longer actually work the way that you wanted to on IG stories. Yet people are still putting hashtags, whether they're hiding it in the background or they're using a hashtag sticker. I think I just don't feel like it's necessary anymore. What do you think about that?
100% agree. If there's no landing page for it, the whole goal of hashtag is to drive people to your page. If people are not going to find it, why are you using it? There's no landing page for hashtags anymore. So I completely agree with you. It just doesn't work. You're just wasting your time finding it, adding it, hiding it. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, yeah. No more hashtags, guys. Let's get rid of hashtags in IG stories. In IG stories. I'm not saying that about the feed
Exactly.
posts. my
Correct.
my second one would be using only one kind of format. Now let me explain. If you are posting IG stories, great, but don't only post photos or don't only post videos. I think it's wise if you actually mix it up a little bit. Post a photo in the morning, maybe a couple videos in the afternoon, maybe a boomerang in the evening. I think it's smart if you kind of diversify your form of content that you're putting on Instagram stories, because the algorithm likes to see diversity in its content as well as the user. You know, if you're watching just a slideshow and you just slide, it gets boring. It's repetitive. You want to kind of make the person viewing it stop for a second, you know, like surprise them with a video that's moving and then maybe switch it to a photo that has a sticker on it, make them engage with it. You want to kind of create something that they have to pay attention to and it catches them off guard instead of just the same. Because once it's just the same, they're going to get into a point where they're just sliding, and then they exit all your IG story and they go on to the next person. You don't want that. So I think you should kind of diversify your content format.
I definitely agree with you on that because people could get so bored watching the same thing again and again and again. Like
Yeah.
I do see a lot of people making like 10 slides of them talking about what happened on a rainy day. Okay. Now, sometimes if it's related to business, okay, let's say you have a course and you're telling them the benefits, etc., or it's related to your business, that does make sense. But sometimes people really take this platform and they start ranting on it. Like you
Yeah.
said, right? They just 10 slides of your story. Like, I don't know who watches it, basically.
I'm very notorious for skipping it. Once I've noticed it's the same type, I end up just
Yeah.
skipping it, especially if there's a lot of them. I'm just like, all right,
Yeah,
on to the next one. And I think most people
exactly.
have that same habit. So those are my first two. I'm going to go back to you. You have two more to list for the audience.
Definitely. So my third one is that people don't use stories enough to sell. Right now, again,
Mm,
we're talking about business owners, and I feel stories is one of the best places to sell. And I kid you not, I feel like even I don't do enough. Like, I feel I don't do enough myself. So I definitely feel a lot of people here don't sell on stories enough. And yeah, because stories is whoever, let's say you have three kinds of audience, I'm not going to use the jargon here. I'll just say people who are new to your page, who don't know you enough,
mhm.
people who are ready to, who like you, who are kind of thinking they want to buy from you. And then there's a third category, they're ready to buy. They're ready to take action, but you're not telling them to. Okay. So they're waiting, they're ready to
Mhm.
go, they're ready to buy. But from you is pin drop silence. And those guys, so you warmed them up, and now somebody else posts something, and those guys are going to go flocking to them because
Yeah,
you warmed them up to the idea. And now, because you didn't say anything somebody else did, they're going to buy from them.
yeah.
So I feel if you're not selling on stories, it is a missed opportunity. And again, I'm not saying it's easy, right? I mean, I don't know, Heston, how much do you sell on stories? And I would love to hear from you as well about this, but I don't feel like I sell enough. Like my coach tells me, Pragati, you need to pump it up. And I'm like, my God, it's going to take me a while. So,
I want to read this quote. I want to read this comment from Go Give Her. This is exactly what you're stating. Closed mouths don't get fed. You couldn't have summed it up any better way than that. And I have to admit, I am at fault at that. That is a mistake that I make on Instagram. I don't sell enough on Instagram. And honestly, it's kind of on purpose because I have a very limited clientele. But even when I do have open spots, I don't
right.
find myself doing it so much. I try not to be too salesy. I think that there's a balance that we have to kind of respect because
Yeah,
there's also the opposite side that if you become too salesy, people will just stop viewing your IG stories, and you don't want
that's
that.
okay.
You want to kind of warm them up with your personal photos, things that you're doing through the day. Let them see if it's a product or service. Let them see you making it, and then you kind of shift them into the idea that they need it. That's
Yep.
what I kind of like to do. But I think that's a great comment there. Go Give Her. Thank you for that. No, but I think you're absolutely right with that, with what you're stating. You should sell. Just don't sell too much. Don't make your IG stories a brochure.
Definitely. And my fourth one is that I feel like a lot of people are not balancing, or a lot of people don't balance it well enough. Sometimes it's too much businessy. Sometimes it's only business, no personal. Sometimes it's only personal and no business. So you're kind of losing out
Yeah.
because stories is the place to warm people up, to get people to connect with you because of your personality, right? This is the place where people actually get to see you, to see your day to day, to get a snippet into your life. And when you're posting too much business, it's kind of annoying. When you're posting too much personal, is also annoying. So I feel like that balance is missing. And my go-to thumb rule is 80-20. 80%
80%.
business, 20% personal.
Funny you
And
said that because
again,
Social Simo just commented that same thing.
amazing, right? I mean, they're probably on the same page, and it's perfect. Like if a lot of people are doing that, I can't see the comment yet, but that's amazing. And again, it's not like a hard and fast rule, right? You can go 90-10 or you can go 70-30, whatever you want. But at least have a healthy balance of the two because both are as important as the other. What are
Absolutely.
your two?
My my two.
Your last two?
Oh, so my last two is okay. Now people are gonna get upset at me for these, so I apologize right now. People are not gonna like what I have to say, but I'm being honest. All right. So the first one, using holiday stickers in the wrong manner. And I think it's a perfect time to explain this right now because I've seen a lot of stickers for Ramadan since it started last weekend, and I'm seeing it with, as you're saying, with sales pitches for IG stories. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't agree with this. I understand if you use a sticker, it goes out to a wider audience. Perfectly understandable. But, it's like taking Black Lives Matter and then saying, oh, well, I'm selling Nikes. I'm sorry, the message is wrong. I understand
Absolutely.
the benefit that it reaches a wider audience, but you're using it wrong. And you don't realize it's wrong until it's technically a sticker that's more emotional to you in a way, and you see other people using it the wrong way. That's when you kind of see the offense, but don't go back and do it yourself to another sticker representing a holiday, whether it's for LGBT or Black Lives Matter or Ramadan, as I saw last week. And I'm sure we're going to be seeing it because the sticker's active right now. I know for a fact we're going to be seeing it for the next week. I think we need to be a little bit more conscious of what we're doing and respectful in regards to what we're doing using certain features on Instagram. I know I'm going to get some comments about that one.
I absolutely agree, and I will not even lie to you. I'm guilty of doing that. Literally, I am guilty of doing that. And to be honest, never thought of it from this perspective, like you're mentioning it, of, being disrespectful to what the sticker is for. But while you're saying this, I would actually also like you to tell me and all of us here, I'm sure they'd also want to know what is the right way to use it according to you. I mean,
um,
I know this is your life, but I'm curious to hear this.
well, okay, with Ramadan, now I'm going to be honest. I know of the holiday. I don't know all of the aspects of Ramadan. So for me, I would never use that sticker, not knowing the full understanding and idea behind it. I know it's a religious holiday. And when it comes to religion, some people are sensitive about certain things that you say and do. I try to avoid that, especially as a business owner, because these things could backfire on you in a very quick and fast way. We've seen brands get destroyed in a moment. And yes, I am talking about Will Smith. That was a moment that he will regret. There are certain
Forever.
actions that you take could have lifelong repercussions, and we have to be
Yeah.
very cautious of what we're doing. So I I don't know if I'm the right person to answer that this is the right way. I'm not going to say that this is the right way. Just for me, what I would like to see, I try to practice. And with certain aspects, if I don't fully understand it, and I just think that maybe this I wouldn't do myself, I hopefully would expect others to kind of practice the same. But I know others are going to look at it in a different way. They look at it as this is a branding opportunity. I can't deny it does get the reach out there, but me personally, I don't do that.
I would actually use it in a much more, with this new perspective of yours, I would actually like to use it in a much more interesting way. So like let's take this Ramadan example.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually say wish everybody Ramadan and use this place not to sell but to pass on knowledge. Because so if you don't want to sell, again, I don't think selling is bad, but if you don't want to sell directly, I would say put knowledge there. Okay, let's say this Ramadan, what would you like?
Mm-hmm.
A, B, and give them tips for it. Something like that.
I like
I would
that.
say would be great because you give them tips and then it's like an indirect selling. It's selling, but it's indirect selling. It's not in your face and it's not offensive. Wow, that's a great perspective, actually. It's gotten me to think so much.
I like the way that you brought it back because you directly connected it to the holiday with respect, and you can either ask for knowledge or give knowledge on that topic while kind of putting out your business in a way that I could agree with. But but when it's just like you use a Ramadan sticker and it's half off of these sneakers, or use this coupon
Yeah,
to get a burger or something, it's like no, I'm sorry, I
yeah,
find
that
that
is offensive.
completely wrong. Um,
That's one thing.
my fourth one, people might not like this one, but hear me out. Simply reposting your feed posts to Instagram stories. Now, I understand that we have audiences that sometimes only view our post in the feed, and then we have audience that only view IG stories. So it is smart to repost your feed post to IG stories, but don't do it without any narrative. I think that's where we're missing out. And I try to practice this myself. I'll do something along the lines of I'll start the discussion with a poll. Let's just say I put a feed post about reels. I'll put out an Instagram story polling the audience, say, hey, do you post reels daily or not? So right there is a sticker asking the audience about reels. And then in the next one, I'll put out a video that says, well, if you're interested to learn more about posting reels daily, check out my new post. And then what I'll do is I don't actually sometimes put the actual post. I'll point to the sticker, like that sticker right there, the profile image, so that when they go to that, they go to my feed and they see the latest image. And the reason why I do that is because Instagram, I don't know if you've noticed this, but when you reshare posts, whether it's your own or others, that IG story doesn't reach as many people as it can. You've noticed that?
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
So what I do is I outsmart that and I say, okay, click this, then go to my feed and then click the latest post. So that way I get around it and people are still able to see my post.
I actually love the idea.
Well, thank you.
Love the idea. And also from the algorithm perspective, Instagram loves it when your viewers click on your profile to visit your profile. So from that perspective also, it's like a great packaged idea. I love it.
Yes. Thank you. Well, sometimes I do the share, like for our IG Live, I did the post for the reminder. That was straight share. But other times I did try to switch it up. And I think, you can test it yourself, everybody. If you want to kind of test and see what the reach is, try both. Try, one day you share a feed post directly from your feed to IG stories, or you simply post. And you simply point to the profile image and see what happens. Look at the numbers. So those.
Right. Somebody's mentioning in the comment, is it okay to put a link there? What are your thoughts on it? I feel like I've never really tried it, and links they don't take you to the post. They open like a separate page of Instagram, and then it's a very bad experience. What would you say about that?
Before I answer, I know that there's a lot of questions in the comments. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and use the Q&A button. So all of the questions are listed and we can see them all in one place. We are about to get into the Q&A portion of this live. So now to answer this question, I personally think Instagram treats links the same way they do as repost on IG stories. They technically decrease the reach. I don't understand why they would do that. Well, you know what? Technically, it's okay. I understand why. They don't want anybody leaving Instagram. Let's just be honest. They don't want anybody leaving Instagram. And there's more of an opportunity. Even if you link back to Instagram, they don't like that because it could take you to a web browser that is now getting more. You're more inclined to actually leave the web browser and leave Instagram to another page. And they wouldn't know. They want to keep you on the native app as long as possible. The longer you are on the native app is the longer that they are making money. That's at the end of the day, that's what they want. So I use links sparingly when I absolutely must, but I don't do it all the time.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm getting a weird bug. Like all of a sudden, I got like the comments blinking on my screen. There goes Instagram. We're giving too much information away. I think they know. there you guys go. I think we have listed 8 different mistakes that we are all making, myself included. I've made some of these mistakes myself. I am still learning. But there are 8 mistakes that we are making on IG stories that if we actually try to avoid, I think we can increase our reach, sell better, and still show a little bit of our personal side. And I want to thank Pragati for giving us some of those very helpful tips to help us move forward. And as I always say, help step your gram up.